Hey, what is up mortals? It's Kiki Cakes here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into the RC cells from the Tokyo Ghoul anime. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So let's get started. Tokyo Ghoul follows the story of Ken Kaneki, a boy who, after being attacked by a ghoul named Rize, ends up becoming a ghoul himself. But why did Kaneki transform? Today we're going to be talking about what exactly makes ghouls tick, RC cells. This will contain major spoilers for the Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul RE anime and manga. Let's start by answering what an RC cell is. RC cells are what make ghouls different from humans. While RC cells are found in both humans and ghouls, ghouls have an average RC count that is almost 10 times higher than a human's. For reference, the average RC cell count for humans is 250, while the average for a ghoul is around 4,000. With the highest RC count known belonging to CCG investigator Kotaro Amon sitting at 10,181. After Kaneki was attacked by the ghoul Rize and Rize was subsequently killed, Kaneki was left severely wounded. In an attempt to save Kaneki's life, a doctor transplanted parts of Rize's body into Kaneki, imbuing him with far more RC cells than he had before. This higher presence of the RC cells caused Kaneki to transform into a half-ghoul. Despite what the name may lead you to believe, half-ghouls are actually stronger than their natural-born counterparts. The reason for this is, aside from gaining a Kakuja, an enhanced form of their predatory organ, the Kagune. Natural-born ghouls cannot strengthen their Kagune, while half-ghouls like Kaneki can. Half-ghouls can accomplish this by pushing their Kagune to its limits or getting injured, essentially working out their Kagune, something natural-born ghouls cannot do. This indicates that there is something unique about how RC cells interact with a human's body. Going back to the main timeline, because of the transplant, Kaneki gained all the characteristics of a ghoul, including super speed, super strength, inhuman resilience, and of course the ghoul's signature feature, their Kagune. As great as all of this is, the RC cells also have some unsavory side effects. They cause a fundamental change to the digestive system, making it so ghouls can only digest human flesh. Along with this, ghouls are disgusted by human food. The only thing both ghouls and human can enjoy is coffee. Moving on, let's talk about the Kagune. Much like a lion's claws, Kagune are not always visible. They recede into sacs called kakuho, which store RC cells in a liquid form. When a ghoul wants to activate their Kagune, the sac is pierced, allowing the RC cells to flow out and change their state. Kagune come in 3 different states of matter. A liquid when they're in the kakuho, a malleable solid when a ghoul is using them to attack, and finally a solid stronger than bone if a ghoul is using it to defend themselves. With that in mind, some Kagune are better at defense than others. For example, Ukaku Kagune, utilized by characters like Toka Kirishima, come from the ghoul's shoulder and have incredible mobility along with providing the fastest attacks. Since Ukaku manifests as a wing or a set of wings with detachable feathers, very similar to Hawksquirk from My Hero Academia, they are excellent for long-range attacks. However, due to their small size, their defensive capabilities are lacking. On the flip side of this, there are Kokaku, which are heavy, unwieldy, and lose to every other type of Kagune as far as speed goes. But because of this, Kokaku make excellent shields and are near impenetrable. Their weight also makes devastating weapons at close range. The other 2 main types of Kagune are Rinkaku, which manifest as a mass of tentacles, and Bikaku, which manifest as a tail. If a ghoul's RC count is high enough, they can also have multiple types of Kagune. The final type of Kagune, and by far the rarest, is the Kakuja. It's completely unique to its user and extremely powerful. The detriment of this is that the only way to obtain a Kakuja is by cannibalizing other ghouls. Upon reaching a certain RC level from cannibalizing other ghouls, one may transform into a Kakuja. Although, the majority of the time nothing happens and they stay a regular ghoul with an above average RC count. Occasionally, a transformation into a Kakuja will be incomplete for one reason or another. One such character in Season 1 is the antagonist Jason. Because his Kakuja transformation was incomplete, he fought blindly and aggressively with very little control over his actions while his Kakuja was active. This lack of control and sanity is what separates full Kakuja from incomplete Kakuja. Generally, a full Kakuja will cover the ghoul's entire body in RC cells. Some of the most notable Kakuja throughout the series are the One-Eyed Owl, the Centipede, and the Non-Killing Owl. Along with this, there appears to be no limit to how powerful a Kakuja can become so long as the ghoul continues to cannibalize. The best example of this is the One-Eyed Owl. When they are first seen, there is a humanoid appearance at the very least, but later on in the series, they become a terrifying behemoth that has almost no human characteristics. Furthermore, Kakuja are shown to have some psychological factors which play into their appearance. For instance, Yoshimaru, the non-killing owl, has an appearance very similar to the One-Eyed Owl, the reasons for which we won't get into for the sake of spoilers. Another example is Kaneki's Kakuja, the centipede which he transforms into after being tortured by Jason and having a centipede put into his ear. With all of these borderline godlike powers, the question is raised: how are ghouls harmed by humans like the detectives of the Commission of Counter-Ghoul, CCG for short? The only way to effectively harm a ghoul is to hit them with an almost comedic amount of overkill, such as dropping 25 solid steel construction beams onto them like what happened to Rize, or by attacking them with a Kagune. Due to how hard it is to move around 5,000 pounds of steel beams, the detectives of the CCG had to find an alternate means of harming ghouls. They managed to find two workarounds. The first workaround is a fairly modern invention, the Quinks. After the CCG captured Kaneki, they studied him and learned how to make their own far more restrained half-ghouls, the Quinks. The Quinks are half-ghouls like Kaneki who have limiters placed on the Kakuho which they had implanted. These limiters keep their RC count near 1000, which allows them to digest human food while still maintaining the abilities of a ghoul. The second workaround the CCG found, as well as the one that is far more commonly used, is the Quinke. Quinke, much like the Quinks, are made by removing a ghoul's Kakuho and restraining it so it is safer for the user. Throughout the series, it is stated and experienced members of the CCG get Quinkes made from ghouls with Bikakus since they are the easiest to use. This means that the Kagune a Quinke is made from plays a role in how it functions. With this in mind throughout the series, we see many Quinkes which take shapes Kagune are not seen in. For example, CCG investigator Juzo Suzuya has a Bikaku Quinke called Scorpion 156. The Quinke is 56 throwing knives carried by Suzuya. 156 has several irregularities. For starters, it does not require an electrical pulse to activate like other Quinke. Second, 156 is one of the few Quinke which is not utilized in a manner similar to the Kagune it comes from. Typically, attacks from Bikaku Kagune come in as a flurry of blows with extreme speed. No ghouls are depicted throwing their Bikaku feathers by hand or even one at a time. 156 also doesn't have a glow like most Kagune or Quinke, instead looking like a regular knife. As a fun aside, while most CCG investigators either get their Quinke passed down to them or get one made from the first ghoul they eliminate, Juzo stole a steel 156 knife by knife over the course of a few years until he had the entire set. One of the most interesting things about Quinke is that they show our C cells have some means to sustain themselves and don't require a human host to duplicate and stay alive, or they simply don't die like regular cells. Either way, this becomes important towards the end of the series, and that said, the next part of this contains massive spoilers, so proceed at your own risk. Towards the end of the series, Kaneki Ken becomes the victim of a plan orchestrated by Nirumi Furuta, who transforms Kaneki into the Dragon, a beast made of RC cells that destroys Tokyo. While on the rampage, the dragon creates humanoid creatures known as the Dragon's Children, which are made entirely of RC cells. When the dragon was alive, there were two types of dragon children. The first was the basic dragon child, which attacked whatever it saw. The second variety of dragon children would explode into a cloud of RC cells, which caused anyone who inhaled the dust to become a ghoul or die of RC cell fever. The implications this has for the world of Tokyo Ghoul are huge, as previously the only way for a human to become a ghoul was through a surgery where the RC cell count increased via implanting a ghoul's kakuho into a human host. The fact that an aerosolized version of RC cells is able to transform a human into a ghoul furthers the idea that these cells are far more than something that makes up a Kagune. Going back to the story, during a joint operation between the CCG and the ghouls, Kaneki is extracted from the dragon and the production of all the dragon's children stops. However, the first type of dragon children continue to roam around. They're even shown to be capable of procreation. While they aren't shown to have any ability for high-level thought or problem solving, they are able to differentiate between other dragon children, humans, and ghouls, only attacking the latter two. Because of this, one can conclude that the dragon's children are alive and have something resembling a functioning brain while also only being made of RC cells. With this in mind, RC cells go from something that transforms people into ghouls to a coked out stem cell which is able to create any tissue at any time almost immediately. But unfortunately, that's about all we know about RC cells, and since the series has officially ended, I doubt we're going to get any more clarification on exactly how RC cells work, so we're left to theorize. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have a great day.